Alright, welcome back. About to start the job that no farmer really enjoys, and we kind of put it off to the last minute, and that is starting to get our houses ready for winter. It's also a job normally leave until a rainy day work, where you can work inside, but we haven't had a whole pile of rain. I've kind of used that as an excuse to put it off, because it's been great weather and great weather for working outside, so hence the reason I've putting it off till now. Probably 3 full days, maybe 4 full days to wash all the sheds, including the one over into the farm, but it still must be done. I want to get these houses disinfected as well. Okay. Juke. So well on, what I'm doing here at the minute is I'm just washing down all the walls and all the cubicles, not the cubicle stands, just the cubicle bars themselves. These cubicles are soaking all the time, so you're kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go around here, do all the timbers, do all the barriers, do the doors, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to come back here and hopefully this will be soaked in about an hour's time, and we'll be able to wash all this down quite quickly. Alright, well, it is now gone 4:30 in the evening. We started this job about 11:30 this morning. So we're going on well. There's actually a lot more dirt than I thought. There's the cabin pins done here now as well. So I'll leave it that come a time now, probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'll tear that wall down completely. I'll also take that sheeting off. I'll take that gate off, and I'll take that gate post off as well. And we'll be taking that down. We'll be working on this steel beam then, bringing it right to ground, digging a hole there and concreting that in place, and then just bolt the 2 together, and then we'll be fit to build our wall back again on both sides. But at least now we have a clean surface that we can disinfect. We might also see about getting these wall plastered. When we're at it here, we just done the yard surface as well. It's kind of like turning over a new leaf for a new winter. Did you say them words? Well, that's kind of what we're thinking. This gate here is came off. I hit it with the digger. That's it, no point in telling a lie about it, and the eye fell down and the gate fell off. But that gate's in not great shape. It's a light field gate that, if you look at the rails, compared to a heavy duty gate, which is like that there. So I have a place that can go out in the field, and I might swap it with the one that's on the field, which is heavy, and just swap them around and put a heavier one here, and it'll take a wee bit more abuse. But yeah, we have this all washed as well. 3 cows that are eagerly waiting to get out, wondering why they've been held back. Well, they'll not be coming back out with our cows. That's their last grazing on our farm. So we're selling off these 3 cows now. You might remembered earlier on, or back a few videos ago, I mentioned that we would start thinking about culling some of our cows early this year without holding on to them. Our normal way of doing things would be keeping them on till maybe January, February, and getting them into really nice condition and then selling them on then. But this year we're not going to do that because, well, we've had 2 leg cuts of silage. Grazing at the minute is very poor. We have enough of grass in front of them. It's keeping them going. They're fairly content, but you have to also remember we've had a very dry period, and grass has been definitely affected by that, so the return is not as good as it should be for this time of year. Also, it's coming into September soon, and grass growth will naturally have slowed down a lot. So we're starting to cull cows. We had extra animals this year, more than we've ever had before, but now we want to start cutting the numbers down. So what we have here is 2 of our oldest cows, super milkers and still milking really, really well. So a 10 and 11-year-old cow. And this one here, she is actually a 3rd calver, but she lost a spin or a quarter back when she was a heifer. It is on a video, I just don't know which one it is. Took a thing called dry mastitis. It wasn't really curable. So she calved down with 3 quarters. She milked absolutely fine. She gave as much and some of the cows with 4. So I'm not sure where they're going. The lad that comes and buys these off me, fella I know this years, and it's the same man I always deal with. He buys them and then he will sometimes move them onto other herd, sometimes put them in calf again. I'd be fairly confident this cow here will go straight onto another farm. And these 2 here probably be dried off and then fattened up after that. Today is Tuesday, and Tuesday normally comes after Monday. So yesterday we took into mowing our 3rd cut. We just took the last minute notion of mowing it because it was an exceptionally good day. There was a wind drying it as quick as we were mowing it. It was lovely evening for doing that job. Now today is a different story. We did have a couple of showers of rain yesterday evening, weren't very heavy, didn't do any harm, it was mowed dry, but we had a wee bit of rain this morning as well, and the stuff I'm just looking at here, there's still bits of bubbles of water, but it's alright. It's silvering up on the top, if you can see it there on the camera. It's drying all the time. There is a lovely wind that's helping that. Not much sun, it's very overcast. Tomorrow's rain, Thursday is heavy rain, and the rest of the week after that is fairly broken weather, so we'll get it done now. So now it's 3 o'clock and I see our guys just after landing over there. Well, I see the balers after landing and he seems to have gone into the field. So maybe the rake is raking up that backfield and I haven't seen him yet. But what I'm watching here, the sky has went black dark and I see a pile of heavy rain coming just right beside me now. We might be very lucky to miss some of it, but we're going to get some of it, unfortunately, as soon as we go to start. So yeah, didn't want that. Lovely dry evening, great drying with the wind and everything. Oh, there's the heavy rain. I don't want to say what I want to say. The reason I didn't do this last week, grass just barely long enough sown. The amount of fertilizer we had on it, and I want to just give it time. I could have left this probably for another week, no harm whatsoever, but I want to get a bit of grazing out of it too, and it's the time slipping on. I want to get it done. It's just wetting on the top of it. Alright, underneath. If it quits now, but look at that window. Doesn't look like that's going to stop anytime soon. What do you do? Huh? Huh? Finish shower. Yeah, just give it till it blows over maybe. Yeah. The moral of the story is we were about to start baling there, just about to start. There's a baler up there. Well, there was 2 balers here. Now there's only 1 because the lads have gone home and the other tractor. They just got 2 bales made and the heavens opened. Soaked the place. So we stopped raking. The tractor's sitting here with the rake on it. There's the first 2 bales there. And we're just going to leave it for a while to see what happens. I say we all looked at different weather charts there and everything's saying a dry evening. The sun is out again, it's clearing again, but behind me here, this is where you have to watch. This is the one that's coming towards us and I see another belt, a band of rain coming. So yeah, a bit annoyed, but I can do nothing about it. It's my own fault. Should have did it when it was dry. And when I get home, don't you worry, it's going to be said to me quite often, and I deserve it. There's a yoke you don't see too often, a 145 Legend. It's a very original looking tractor too. And you guys like your machinery, a McHale Fusion 3 Plus. They have another McHale Fusion 3 on another Massey that's just after leaving there. And this is their 6499. Again, another tractor's been coming around here quite a long time. I'm going to go home here. It's starting to drip rain again. I presume there's another big heavy shower about to hit us. And we're going to do our milk and do our work. We'll come back and see what it's like in a few hours. Now we're home. And I'm just after taking this top link off because another issue I found, and it's an issue with this tractor, it was also a big issue with our 6470 that we had before this. The span between top link and implement that you put on, some are worse than others, is very, very short. That top link, for instance, is one of the shortest heavy duty top links I could buy. And even with that, it doesn't lift this up enough. Just leaving the bale is kind of hanging down. Now, the heavy duty one would work if this guy here was wider. If you see the paint here, you see this? These 2 marks, 2 fresh marks on this. Well, them 2 fresh marks came because the sleeve, if you want to call it, the cylinder is so much wider than this. If I put the pin here rather than here, I can get a nice extra bit of pull that lifts the bales a bit higher or tilts them a little bit more in towards the tractor. The unfortunate thing is this isn't wide enough doesn't allow that sleeve to fit in, so there's no benefit. It'd actually break the hydraulic top link if you went to use it at all, so that's the reason I took it off. I just wish this here was slightly wider to accommodate that. This is the top link that I have here. I use it regular, but the pipe that was on it, I took it off there. I'm not sure where I actually put it. It was badly cracked, it was ready to bust, so I have always new pipes for top links. I always keep a set of them, and I had a set hanging up, a brand new set with new fittings, so we're just going to put that on here for starters. At least then we have a top link that's not leaking. Let's tighten this up now. Right. You can see now the way this tilts up in the air. So that's the way you want it. Beforehand I could barely just get it a little more than level. So hopefully that will hold the weight of them bales. It should, but you just never know. I'd rather have a heavy duty one on there, but that's what I got. I'm just looking behind me and I can see a belt of heavy rain just coming across the hills here again. If you don't laugh, you cry, and you might as well not cry. It's not going to change anything. Alright, well, it's coming towards 6:30 now. It was dried up and then we had a team of a shower, so yeah, it's very wet now. And we've had another issue. It's just one of those evenings. Except for Nicole are making here at the minute, and this sump pump that we put in, the new one, has decided to stop working, so our mats are all starting to float now. So Matt's ripping off this capacitor. I'm trying to fix it here as I'm milking, and I don't think it's the capacitor's blowing, so we're going to have to pull the mats up. Should be over another farm, because I know the guys are going to be ringing my phone now very shortly to see what I want to do. So I'm going to have to try to ring the electrician, let him come out and see if he can get it working. But we do have to rip these mats up. We have to rip up the lid of the sump. We have to start bucketing all this stuff out and hope that we can get it fixed, because if we can't, it's a problem. It's a big problem. We didn't need it tonight. Alright, you can see what our sump looks like there now. So it's a pretty deep sump. It's probably another 2 foot deeper underneath that. So there's not really much more I can do with that. I'm going to let the electrician look at it and hope, my fingers crossed, it's just a capacitor. My phone is ringing like mad there in the background. I'm just not answering it. I can't be in two places at one time, unfortunately. When I come in here in the morning, this will be all flooded, so I'll have to book it out for a bit, 20 minutes before I start making in the morning. I don't mind doing that. But yeah, that's that. I'm on my way back over here. I'm hoping my electrician fella can come here. Here he is actually now. That's Liam there. My electrician just pulling in at the bottom of the lane as I was going out. And he's asked me, did you test the power going to it? Did you test the capacitor, the resistance in it? No, I just said to him, sorry, I never got to even touch it. So just let him at it. That's his expertise. He has no capacitors on board with him, but I have one there. But it might get us working tomorrow, so I can get time tomorrow evening to get the right one for it. But I'd be worried of why, or more concerned as why it did blow a capacitor. That's when he knew the pump. If you remember when I was fitting it, I said I bought our expensive one. I didn't buy a cheap one. I bought an expensive one with the idea that it would get, well, close to what I got out of the first one. I'm going to laugh about it. I'm not laughing inside. I'll tell you a bit more about that maybe at the end of the video. These things all build up on you, and you should smile and understand that there's worse things in life to be worried about than a bit of wet silage, or that even. A wee update there on the problem at home with our pump. He's not able to get it fixed. He doesn't know what's causing the problem. I'm ringing my milking machine man, and he says it probably could be just the float, just to give it a couple of taps to see will that work. Otherwise we'll have to just disconnect the whole thing, pull the whole thing out, bring it back to where I bought it. And the problem with that is it's over an hour away. It's 2.5 hour round trip, and I'll have to leave it there for a few days and then come back and collect it. So I'll have to do it out of pump. I have to say this evening has been highly stressful. Just a lot of things in the one day, and I haven't even told you the half of them. It's just gone 12:10 at night and I'm finished. And there was 143 bales in that total there. It's very hard to see them from here because, well, it's obviously dark. But we have a right few bales stacked in there. And we have some bales stacked there. I'll show you them in the morning when we come over. Funny enough, as we come over when the lads were baling, stuff was drying. So it wasn't severely wet, but it still was wet. It's done now, and I'm happy that it's done. There's no point in crying over spilt milk. That's the thing about this job. Everything doesn't always go to plan. There's no such thing. Sometimes you make good judgments. Sometimes you make bad judgments. I've got nothing to blame here, only for myself. Can't blame the weather either, because it was a brilliant summer. It's just one of those things that I misjudged at this time. But we have our silage done, and that's our silage done now for 2025. Finished with. God, it didn't rain last night. It was gone almost 10 o'clock in the morning. Having a circle around the field here this morning for two reasons. One of which, I'm looking to see that I forget any bales. The second reason is I've got my helper here with me. Say hello, Lena. Hi. We're looking for plastic. Any little pieces of black plastic on the ground. And I definitely know last night I seen a few just like that there. That little bugger there would easily kill an animal. It's happened to us a few years back. I've said it before on the channel, and we lost a really good heifer because of a piece of plastic that was actually smaller than that. Animals are acquisitive. They pick it up in their mouth, not with the intentions of actually swallowing it. But what happens is it gets stuck in their teeth or gets stuck in their jaw when they're messing with it. Then they actually do swallow it. That rolls into a ball, gets stuck in the gut, and that's it. They can't poo, they're completely blocked up. An operation might save them, but in our case it happened that fast. We didn't know what was wrong until we got the animal checked after she had passed away. But yeah, dangerous thing. So that's what we're looking for here now. We're going to close up some of our gates. We're going to get some heifers in here. That's it. There is our bales from last night. They look alright. The stacking wouldn't be professional or anything, but they're stacked. We do have a couple of holes here on this one. I have a hole up there on that one, and I have a hole in one on the far side, and I think that's all. Fingers crossed the holes are there. So I didn't want to block this area here coming down. I want to be fit to be able to go up and down there with cattle and with a tractor. So very handy to be fit to stack bales like that. We're only doing that now this last 3 years. It does free up a lot of space. If we weren't stacking them, we would have this place full of bales as well, and then that gate there's blocked, and that can be kind of a nuisance. So it is. If we were slurrying or doing anything, because we'd have to go up through that field or the other field to get into that back one. Now we have a straight run, which will make life a lot better. Alright, so down at the roadside here, I open that gate into the hill upwards, so the cows or heifers won't have to go around it. I lay in a stand there with Kabuta, and I'm going to tiddle over the road here just to get here beside us and let these heifers in. Come on, come on, come on. Well, you managed that gate. You might have to go to the very end of it. We left as you're closing it. You manage. I'm ready. Yeah, well. Oh, yeah, well. You underestimate yourself. So just what them two animals are doing there in front of you, there are places where there's grass laying on the ground, and they will clean that all up. Alright, so this is the culprit here that has caused all the hassle. And as you can see there, it looks nice and clean. I'm after washing it, but it's also clean because it's only new. So the other one was in 17 years. This one's in just over 2 months. Right, well, it's 2 days later, and our pump is back. The fault turned out to be this floating switch here, and you can see the switch they put on it is a different one that would have been originally on. The other one was a red and black one. I never looked at the brand of it, but apparently this is a much better quality one. There's a little contact in there, seemingly had corroded or whatever happened anyway, it just wasn't working. So basically whatever the height of this float is when it's up like that, that's when this pump will kick in. And it comes down like this here, there's a little ball in it that moves, you can probably hear it. But when it falls back down again, the ball falls, it breaks the contact, and that's the pump switched off. So anyway, it is fixed, that's all that matters. We're going to just tear this thing apart here, take all these old tags and stuff off it, get it back into this hole. I'll tell you one thing, it's not bloody light. Okay. Should pop in handy enough. There it goes. So it already has the impression made in the pipe, so it's easy to slip back in again. Now we just put our bracket back on here and tighten everything up, and then we'll wait until our electrician comes and he'll wire everything in. So I'll let him finish up that job, but at least it's in, it's back. Fingers crossed it's working and it's problem over with. So I'm just up here now. I'm after moving my heifers into the back field. My calves are just galloping down there, thinking I'm going to give them meal. My heifers, although they're just after we moved in and they're as full as ticks, they want to come up and have a roar at me for some reason. My cattle are spoilt. I'm coming to that realisation, because even our cows this last while, if our cows are anywhere near the house at night or even in the daytime and you so much as rattle a gate or there's so much as even see me, the roar. And it's not the love for me that's causing it, it's the fact that I moved them back a few weeks ago. I moved them during the daytime and I should never have done that, and ever since that they've been misbehaving. They want to get moved every day in the middle of the day, which is not going to happen. So animals are very repetitive, they get very used to routine. If you change the routine, it really upsets them, and it takes a long time for them to go back into the routine you already had them in. You see these heifers now are coming up roaring and they're not looking for anything. It's just the fact that I'm here, that's all. Go away! Anyway, I just want to end today's video with something very important. The day we took in these bales, Tuesday, you could see the heavy rain that we got. So we made wet bales, there's no doubting about that, there's no covering it over, I don't want to. We have wet bales. These things happen. But the fact that the pump decided to give up at the same time, some might look at that as a small thing, but it's actually not. It can cause an awful lot of hassle, and that was annoying. And it did get to me. It was a stressful evening. My phone was ringing, I had no coverage. Other lads were ringing me on the phone. Everybody was trying to get in contact with me at the one time, and I didn't have an answer for everybody. My head was fried, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I wasn't in good form that day. So there was a lot on my mind, and funny enough, the bales was the least of the problems. So this year has, as I said before, been a very, very, very tough year, and mentally phenomenally tough, and it just, everything feels different on the farm after the loss of my dad. I just wanted to add that to the end of the video, because I know a lot of other people do ask me, you know, they've lost someone recently, asked me how to get over it or what do you do, and the truth is there's no way to get over it. You don't get over it. So the silage this year, first cut, second cut, they were all firsts. This is the first cut, this is the second cut, this is the third cut, without him here. So I didn't find much happiness in doing them jobs this year. As I stand here at this very gate, there's a very reason for doing that, because this day last year, when we had just finished our third cut as well, we were just after cutting this hill behind me. We didn't cut this field, I don't think. And my father was standing here in this very spot, looking down, counting the cattle. 1, 2, and 2's 4, and 2's 6. He never counted 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 2 and 2, 4, and 2, 6, and 2's 8. And this is the very spot he stood in on this very day. So I had that kind of in my mind as well. Another thing was, which I haven't spoken on the channel, and I'm not going to talk really about it after this, because a few people have asked me, but my mum hasn't been well pretty much straight after my father passed. In January she took unwell and has been in and out of hospital quite a lot. She's currently in hospital at the moment. This is the second time in the last 3 weeks, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting seeing any of your family ill, and just everything has been thrown at us this year, and that's just the way it's going to be, and there's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, if my videos look like sometimes I haven't just at myself this year, I haven't, and that's just the truth. It's just been a lot on my mind with that. I've been fine otherwise. I still go out and do my work, and I always will, but there has been a lot on our plate. Anyone that has dealt with illness in their house will understand exactly what I'm talking about, and it's a load you carry with you every day. So the day you see me bringing in the bales, I wasn't actually thinking that much about them. I just wanted to get out of here because my mother was just after going to hospital that morning as well. So, you know, you have a lot of things going on. It's not just agriculture. These things are all outside problems, and that's the way you should look at them. The most important thing is what's inside your door, and look after that above everything else. Sinead came over to me that night with sandwiches and a cup of tea. I pulled up down there at the slatted shed and we just sat, had a chat, had a cup of tea, and felt much better after that. Anyway, just wanted to cover that. Another thing is, I've been told by a viewer, I didn't realise this, but this weekend 5 years ago was the time we posted our first video on YouTube, which is 5 years is hard to believe. So it is, years just fly on, and I look back at my first videos and the first thing I see is how much younger I looked. There wasn't many grey hairs then, but yeah, it's hard to believe. It's also hard to believe how much the channel grew and how much the channel sustained growing, which is unusual because channels don't usually have a long span of life. Everybody gets used to what people are doing, and then you want to move on to something else. And I do the very same if I was watching YouTube channels. My intentions never were set out to be what we're doing here today, or talking to people here on a camera back and forth. That time was just a kind of a hobby, just to put a few videos up on YouTube, and the thing wasn't going to last very long. I didn't know much about social media. My wife had to teach me how to use Facebook that time, Sinead, and Instagram, and didn't have a clue about any of those sort of things, had no real interest, and frankly still having a whole pile of interest in it. But I know now how to post a video on YouTube. I'm not great at the Instagram or any of the rest of the stuff. I do my best. It's not really something that I'd be mad into. But I've learned a lot more than how to just make videos. I've learned an awful lot about life in general, and learning how people react to things you do, and the similarities between people and their life, country life for me, for instance, and that has helped me a lot. I get great encouragement, I get great knowledge, unbelievable knowledge on things that I do, and I'm not afraid to ask people for advice, and I listen to all advice and take from it as I will, and that has helped me dividend over the years. When the channel was about a year old, I started regretting calling the channel I Farm, We Farm, having the word farm in it at all, because I didn't want to make my channel solely about farming. I wanted to show just everything that I do. I don't just go out, milk cows, look heifers, move fences. I do an awful lot more than that, and I've always done that. I don't just do it for the camera. Anyone that knows me personally knows that I like to think about stuff. My mind just seems to have this hunger for that kind of thing. Hence the reason we're rooting at an old trailer at the minute, we're rooting at a digger, we're rooting at old quads, stuff like that. And I like showing that on the channel. I hope you enjoy watching that. I know there's people here for the animals, there's people here for the machinery, so I try to incorporate both of them together as best I can, so you get a mix of both worlds. But before I finish off, I want to just say thank you. Not just from me, from my whole family. There's a big world out there, I realise, and there's a lot of good people in it. So it's also another very important weekend for us this weekend, because myself and Sinead, our wedding anniversary comes up, 18 years I think it is, married. You know, Sinead said to me last night, does it feel like 18 years? And lads, just be very careful how you answer that question. But yeah, it flew by. Anyway, no, I'd be lost without her. She is the rock here for us. We're a family, we're all knitted together, we do everything together, and we support each other, and that's what family's all about. Growing up on the countryside, you need that. And without them, there'd be no channel. It's as simple as that. Anyway, I'm going to go home. I'm in the middle of making another video, which is a big change, and I'm going to leave you on this bombshell. There's something I have said we haven't done here on this farm in 15 plus years, and we're about to do it tomorrow. Can you think of what it is? See you in the next one.